Hey guys, thanks for joining us in our fourth video on the Savage Axis chambered in 308. This video is all about seating depth, and I'm going to tell you this video was a disaster. Man, we had so much trouble, and I want to explain exactly what I'm talking about. This one was rough though. The first trouble that we had was actually with our Tacticam. Let me show you. So one of the issues that I don't like with this Savage Axis is the throw on the bolt is super long. So the scope gets in the way. So mounting the Tacticam was difficult. I couldn't mount it to either side, so I thought, okay, well, I'll mount it on top, and I didn't test it. We're so busy these days that I hardly have time to do anything. So we make these videos for you guys in between the thousands of things that we have going on all day, every day. I literally get up at 4 in the morning, and I usually don't go to bed until 11 o'clock at night. And so we don't have a lot of time for things. And so I put this all together, mounted the Tacticam this way, never thought to test the bolt. I just thought because this little deal here was out of the way and because the camera was out of the way, I thought it was going to be fine. But what was happening was when I would pull the bolt back, it wouldn't go back all the way. So I don't know if you can see that there, but to extract the expended casing, I literally had to remove the case with my finger from the extractor. I had to manually extract it, and then I kind of had to jiggle the rifle and catch the spent casing. So that was one of the issues that we were having with this video. The second trouble that we had with this video was that our target camera wasn't recording for the first two groups. So anyway, I almost scrapped the video, but I thought there were two things. The first thing was that this was never intended to be this wasn't the end goal per se. The end goal actually came from a request from one of our subscribers, EDAB, E-D-A-B. I don't know. I don't know if that's his handle is EDAB or E-D-A-B. But anyway, he requested that we do on our SST versus ATIP video. He wanted to see a similar test, but in 308 Winchester between an ELDX and an ELDM. And I thought that that would be a really cool video. The trouble was that he wanted to see it in a bolt action rifle. The only 308 that I have is actually I should say, is the AR-10, which is obviously semi-automatic rifle. And so that was the whole point of picking up this rifle, was we wanted to get a 308 bolt action, and so that we could fulfill that wish that was made by EDAB or EDAB. So the ultimate goal was to shoot some ballistics gel out to about 500 yards. I wouldn't probably take this rifle out beyond 300 yards, but we had to get it accurate enough where we could hit our target at 500 yards, because that's kind of what we do on our long-range ballistics testing is we're doing 500-600 yards, maybe even further. Hint, hint at some future plans that we have. So anyway, let me show you why I really like using the Tacticam on our seating depth testing. All right. So the reason that I like using the Tacticam when we're doing seating depth testing is I'm able to see right at the moment that I pull the trigger, within 1/240th of a second, exactly where my crosshairs were, where I was aiming right when I pulled the trigger. So here you can see I'm aiming right at the top of the center of the diamond, so this was a good pull. You know, sometimes you might jerk a trigger, you might flinch or something, and so when you have an impact, a flyer, one of the questions is always, okay, did I jerk the trigger, did I flinch, or was that, you know, was that a bad shot? Did I have a flyer? What happened, right? So what I'm able to do is, so you can see I'm aiming right at the tip of the diamond, which is where I always aim when I'm doing seating depth testing. And here you see the gases literally that are coming out of the tip of the barrel. So right when I pulled the trigger, I'm aiming right where I wanted to aim, okay? So where the bullet impacted will tell me how far off the bullet hit based on right where I was aiming when I pulled the trigger, okay? So this was a good shot. So anyway, that was why I wanted to use the Tacticam. Like I said, I almost scrapped this whole video, but I think we've got some stuff that we can use. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. So here are the groups after the fact. Our seating depth of 2.080 base to ogive produced that group there. 2.083 produced a little better group. You can see we're just way better than we were before with using the factory ammo. So these hand loads are putting us just light years ahead of where we were before. I'm pretty sure that this second group here, the 2.083, is a sub MOA group. We'll know for sure when we get back and measure, but it's pretty darn close to 1 MOA or maybe even sub MOA, and that's only our first 2 groups. So I think we're going to be good here. Let's go ahead and get back up range and finish shooting this. Okay, so again, we've got 2 groups that are pretty darn large improvements. Okay, so I have this defect in my brain where I just physically cannot tell a lie. And so my mouth was trying to say that these were pretty darn good groups, but my brain was like, you know full well that these are not good groups. So at best, it would let me say that they were improvements. So that's why it came out like that. From what we were getting from that factory ammo, we had one that was about 1.5, I think it was 1.3 inches. The 2.080 group it's just a little over 1 MOA, but that second group is 0.853 inches. So that's pretty darn good. We're actually getting somewhere now. And so let's go ahead and take a look at that third group. Okay guys, so as you can see, we've got a pretty small node there. That 2.083, we can't go much shorter than that, we can't go much longer than that. Now normally that wouldn't be a node that I would want to use, but we are limited by a couple of things. One, those big long bullets, they're really compressing that powder charge. And so I don't want to seat them too much deeper and compress too much more powder if I can help it. And we're limited to a certain magazine length, so I can't go much longer. I can go longer, but you can see that going longer, actually the groups were opening up, so I'd have to get them, I'd have to find the actual node is probably going to be on magazine length, because first what's going to happen is those groups are going to open and then they're going to shrink down, and then we want to find a couple 3 powder charges where we get pretty small groups, and that would be a better node, but then we're not going to be able to use our magazine. And in a hunting rifle, I really want to be able to use the magazine in case I need a quick follow-up shot. So that's not going to be an option. That's going to be the node that we're going to work with. And at 0.883 or 0.853, I keep saying 883, but it was actually 0.853. That's just not bad. That's going to be certainly good enough for a hunting rifle. It's certainly going to get us our ballistics gel test that we wanted to do. So we're just going to leave it there, and we're going to continue on with our 5th video. That will be the final video. I really appreciate you guys going on this journey with us. It's been a lot of fun. I appreciate the suggestion, and if you guys have things that you want to see, we'll try to make those things happen as best and as soon as we can. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to get ready for that 5th video, and we'll be dropping that just as soon as we can. Again, thank you for watching. If you would subscribe to this channel, I would certainly appreciate it, and if you wouldn't mind giving this video a like, I would appreciate that as well. But for now, I want you guys to have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.